currently 31 degrees Celsius in Busan under partly cloudy skies. Afternoon highs will hover at 32 degrees Celsius amid good air quality. It's time to wrap up this hour's news. Thank you for joining. You're listening to BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Your best choice. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
Coming up next is Busan Worldwide with Stephanie Yoon. BEFM, 부산영어방송.
As the Japanese government's release of contaminated water from the Fukushima is scheduled for tomorrow, concerns among citizens of Busan are substantial. 네, 일본 정부의 후쿠시마 오염수 방류가 내일로 다가온 가운데 부산 시민들의 걱정이 큰 것으로 나타났습니다. Yet 61.1% of Busan citizens responded that they are worried about the safety of seafood. So, urgent measures to alleviate citizens' concerns are going to be needed. Well, this is Busan Worldwide, and I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon. Good morning and welcome to Busan Worldwide on this Wednesday morning. It is August 23rd. Hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday morning so far. Thank you so much for tuning in to BEFM, Busan 영어방송. Now, Busan City conducted a second quarter public opinion survey on city administration targeting 1,000 citizens aged 18 and above residing here in Busan. The survey was conducted from July 31st to August 2nd. 부산 시민 61.1%가 오염수 방류로 인해 수산물 안전이 걱정된다고 답했습니다. Now, in response to the discharge of Fukushima contaminated water, 61.1% expressed concern about the safety of seafood, while 24.7% stated that they are not worried. And regarding Busan City's radiation safety management system for seafood, 35.7% considered it insufficient and 26.4% deemed it sufficient, and the response of being average was the highest at 35.8%. Also, the responses on the most essential measures for seafood safety included reinforcing radiation inspection and providing scientifically objective information about seafood, accounting for 47%. Also, responses included a 28.7% preference for measures such as banning the import of Japanese seafood and food products as well. 이 수산업계에서는 수산물 소비 감소를 예정된 수순으로 보고 있다고 하는데요. The seafood industry expects a decrease in seafood consumption as part of the foreseeable trend. So to alleviate citizens' anxieties, both Busan City and the central government should work together to establish measures indeed. And listeners, tomorrow we'll be connecting with correspondent reporter from Japan to hear all about what's going on, any live updates coming from Japan as well. So stay tuned for that tomorrow. Well, listeners, thank you so much for tuning in to Busan Worldwide. Briefly, let me tell you what we have going on for the next hour. We have the interview coming up and also Up Busan 2030 and Correspondent Report. 오늘은 중국통신원과 연결합니다. And as always, we are live on YouTube, so you can go to YouTube and search BEFM or 부산영어방송. We are live here in the studio in YouTube as well. You can check out our studio, our guests, as well as send us free messages through YouTube, so go on and do that. Like Humberto Mendoza-님 just saying hello to you too as well. Thank you so much for tuning in and messaging in as well. Well, the time is now 11:08. Let's move on from Busan to the world, Busan Worldwide. 오늘의 더 인터뷰 라이브로 만나보시죠. It it's time for the interview. From September 1st to the 2nd, the Busan International Medical Tourism Convention will be taking place at Mexico. On display at the convention will be clothing and costumes for university supporters with designs that show off the national flags and flowers of the 180 member countries of the BIE. The designer behind these outfits is Ms. Seo Sun-nam, a Busan-based designer with 48 years of experience who is currently the chairperson of the Busan Fashion Textile Industry Cooperatives. So let's welcome her to today's show. 네, 국제박람회기구 회원 180개국의 국기와 국화를 담은 디자인을 넣은 대학생 서포터즈 의상들을 디자인한 분은 바로 48년 경력의 부산 대표 서순남 디자이너인데요. 현재 부산패션섬유산업사업협동조합 이사장을 맡고 있기도 합니다. 오늘도 인터뷰에서 만나보겠습니다. 안녕하십니까?
예, 안녕하세요.
반갑습니다.
예.
All right, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. As mentioned, you lead the Busan Fashion Textile Industry Cooperatives. It's quite a long name, so could you tell us a bit about what the organization is? 네, 우선 부산 패션 섬유 산업 사업 협동조합이 어떤 일을 하는 곳인지 설명 부탁드릴게요.
예, 부산의 패션 섬유 산업 사업의 건전한 발전과 협동 사업을 수행으로 자주적인 경제 활동을 북돋우며 조합원의 경제적 지위 향상과 국민 경제의 균형 있는 발전을 목적으로 하는 단체입니다.
그렇군요.
네.
So she shared that it's an organization that aims to improve the economic status of its members and the balanced development of our country's economy by promoting independent economic activities through the development of the fashion textile industry here in Busan. Well, you recently designed a T-shirt for university students in support of the 2030 World Expo. So how did you come up with this project? 네, 이번에 2030 부산월드엑스포를 유치를 또 기원하면서 대학생 서포터즈 티셔츠를 디자인하셨어요. 어떻게 이런 프로젝트를 기획하게 되셨나요?
예, 2005년도 에이펙 선거 기업 패션쇼 테마를 정할 때 각 국가의 주요 상징을 고민하다가 첫 번째 대통령으로 하려다가 대통령은 변경의 우려가 있었고 두 번째 국기는 문체로 말하면 강건체 남성성이 강하게 느껴져서 적합하지 않다 생각했고 세 번째 국화는 우유채로 꽃의 부드러움과 아름다움이 여성복에 적합하다고 생각해서 최종적으로 국화를 트렌드해서 그 프로젝트를 성공적으로 마무리할 수 있었고 저에게 너무 값진 경험이었습니다.
네.
그 경험이 이번 프로젝트를 기획할 때 영향력이 있었다고 생각되는데 그 경험을 토대로 이번 프로젝트는 트렌드에 따라 캐주얼하고 남녀 모두 선호하는 티셔츠의 디자인을 하게 되었습니다. 예.
그렇군요. 이 트렌드에 따라 캐주얼하고 남녀 모두 선호하는 티셔츠에 국기와 국화를 담으셨어요.
네.
Now, she shared that when deciding on the theme for the fashion show to promote the 2005 APEC event to be held in Busan, they had to take in consideration various factors of each country. First, they thought of basing the fashion show on the presidents of each country, but was worried about the changing of leaders that could happen. Second, they considered the national flags, but the flag gives off a strong and masculine identity, she shared, so they didn't think it was appropriate. Finally, they considered the national flowers. They thought that countries' flowers symbolized softness and beauty, so it would be suitable for women's clothing. They were able to successfully actually complete the fashion show project by using national flowers as a theme, and was a success and very valuable experience for her, she shared. And that experience was influential when planning the most recent project. She decided to design a t-shirt that is casual and preferred by both men and women according to trends. And as we shared, there's the national flag and flowers of the member countries of the BIE on these t-shirts. And it couldn't have been easy to find the national flags and flowers of all 180 member countries of the BIE. So tell us a bit about this. 네, 국제박람회기구 회원 180개국의 국기와 국화를 다 찾아내는 것도 보통 일이 아니었을 것 같아요. 어떠셨나요?
예, 180개라는 숫자가 결코 작은 숫자가 아니라 걱정이 많이 되었습니다. 진행 도중 추가된 국가도 있었고
네.
한 개의 나라가 누락이 되어도 발견하기 쉽지 않아 많은 집중력이 필요한 작업이었습니다. 하지만 180개국의 많은 나라가 참여한다는 것은 우리나라가 우리 부산이 더욱더 널리 알려줄 수 있는 멋진 기회라고 생각이 되어 기쁜 마음으로 작업을 했습니다. 실제로 이렇게 많은 나라가 우리 대한민국과 부산을 알게 된다고 하니 생각만으로도 정말 벅찼습니다. 예,
그렇군요.
예.
So she shared that the number 180 is not a small number by any means, so she was very worried. Some countries were added as members as time went along. They couldn't miss any of the countries, right? So it was a lot of work, a task that required a lot of concentration. However, she thought that including all 180 countries was a wonderful opportunity to make Busan more widely known around the world, so she was really happy to work on it. It was really exciting to think that so many countries will actually get to know our country and Busan through this opportunity. And I'm sure there were a lot of countries that were new to you as well. I'm sure there were some that stood out because of their flags or maybe national flowers. So which countries particularly left an impression on you? 이 처음 보는 나라들도 많았을 것 같고요. 국기나 국화가 인상적이었던 나라들도 있을 것 같아요. 어떤 나라들이 특히 생소하고 또 인상적이었나요?
예, 생소한 나라들도 있었지만 180개의 나라 국기들을 펼쳐놓고 보는 것이 너무 색다른 경험이었습니다.
네.
180개국의 국기들이 컬러도 비슷한 게 많았고 겹치는 국화도 많아 상당히 어려웠지만 각 나라의 국민들은 국기와 국화에 대한 애정이 얼마나 깊겠습니까?
네.
그래서 더욱 최선을 다해 디자인을 했습니다. 180개 나라의 국화를 하면서 하나도 안 겹치는 꽃이 하나 있었습니다. 태평양에 있는 섬나라 피지라는 나라의 국화였는데요.
네.
그 꽃의 이름은 탕이모디아입니다. 타베우니 섬에서 12월 한 달만 피며 향도 없다고 하는데 붉은 빛이 어우러진 색감이 정말 아름다웠습니다. 옛날 피지의 공주가 아버지의 동맹으로 인해 사랑하는 사람과 결혼하지 못하자 호숫가에서 눈물을 흘리다 잠이 들었는데 그 눈물의 꽃이 되었다는 전설도 있었습니다.
그렇군요.
예.
이 피지라는 나라의 국화가 탕이모디아라는 꽃인데요. 제가 이 인터뷰 준비하면서 궁금해서 찾아봤더니 독특하고 너무 아름답더라고요. So she shared that some countries were unfamiliar to her, but overall it was a very unique experience to see the flags of 180 countries just spread out. And many of the flags were similar in color. There were many overlapping flags, so it was quite difficult. But kept in mind how the people of each country must have a deep love for their flags and national flowers. And that's why they did their best when it comes to the design. And while designing with the national flowers of 180 countries, there was just one flower that didn't overlap. It was a national flag of Fiji, an island nation in the Pacific Ocean. The name of the flower is Tangimothia. It only blooms in December on the island of Taviuni, and it has no scent, but its reddish color is really beautiful. It has a little bit of red and also white. Legend has it that a Fijian princess, unable to marry the love of her life due to her father's alliance, fell asleep in tears on the shore of a lake, and her tears turned into the flower of Tangimothia, and it's a beautiful flower as well. Now, I saw pictures of your design. It's an overall blue color design, and you had put the flag on the left chest and the flower around the right stomach area. So I'm curious what your intention was in designing this, what message you were trying to convey as well. 사진을 보니까 파랑색 바탕에 왼쪽 가슴 부분에 국기를 넣었고요. 또 오른쪽 배 부분에 국화를 디자인을 하셨어요. 이렇게 디자인을 한 의도는 무엇인지 또 이 디자인을 담고자 한 메시지는 무엇인지 궁금합니다.
예, 파란 바탕은 바다를 상징하는 부산. 예, 왼쪽 가슴의 국기는 각 나라에 대한 경례를 뜻합니다. 그리고 오른쪽 배 부분의 국화는 아름다움과 사랑을 품는다는 의미입니다.
네.
부산 안에서 180개의 국가가 모여 각각의 나라를 존중하며 사랑하는 마음을 표현하고 싶었습니다.
그렇군요. And that's what would happen if we host 2030 World Expo, all 180 countries gathering in the city of Busan. Now, she shared that the blue background of the t-shirt symbolizes the sea of Busan. The flags on the left chest represent salutes to each country, and the flowers represent beauty and love. She wanted to express the respect and love for each of the 180 countries that Busan has. Well, listeners, if you're just tuning in to Busan Worldwide, we're in the middle of the interview with Miss Seo Sun-nam, a Busan-based designer with 48 years of experience. She is also currently the chairperson of the Busan Fashion Textile Industry Cooperatives as well. And she is the one who designed the clothing, the costumes for university supporters with designs that show off national flags and flowers of the 180 member countries of BIE. Now, I heard you actually volunteered to make this design because you yourself want to see the expo come to Busan. So in your opinion, why should Busan host the expo and what does the expo mean to you? 2030 부산 월드 엑스포를 유치하고자 하는 열망이 크셨기 때문에 재능 봉사로 이런 디자인을 할 수 있었을 것 같아요. 부산 엑스포가 꼭 유치되어야 하는 이유는 무엇이고 엑스포는 어떤 의미인가요?
예, 부산 엑스포가 유치되었을 때 불러오는 기대의 효과의 파급력이 어느 정도인지 모든 분들이 아실 거라 생각합니다.
네.
저희 나라의 발전을 위한 긍정적인 영향도 있지만 부산의 이상이 올라가면 저희 부산의 패션업계도 긍정적인 영향력이 있을 거라고 생각합니다. 그러므로 부산 월드엑스포는 부산뿐만 아니라 대한민국의 패션업계의 발전에도 긍정적인 효과를 불러일으킬 거라 예상이 됩니다.
네.
지금 현직 패션업계 종사자는 물론 우리 후배 디자이너들을 위해 부산 패션업계의 이상을 올리고 대한민국의 패션을 널리 알릴 수 있는 일이라면 최선을 다해 일하고 싶습니다. 부산 엑스포는 우리에게 큰 기회가 찾아왔다고 생각됩니다.
네, 맞습니다. 이 엑스포를 통해 부산의 위상이 올라가면 부산의 패션 업계에도 긍정적인 영향력이 있을 거라고 말씀해 주셨어요. So she shared that everyone knows how much of a ripple effect our city can benefit from if the expo is held here. It would have a positive impact on the development of our country, but it will also have a positive impact on the fashion industry in Busan as the status of Busan increases. Therefore, the Busan World Expo will have a positive effect on the development of not only Busan, but also the fashion industry in Korea. And she wants to do her best to raise the reputation of the fashion industry in Busan and promote Korean fashion, not only for those who are currently working in the industry, but also for the younger designers. And the expo has given us that opportunity. Well, with 48 years of experience in fashion design, I'm curious if you have your own mindset or set of principles when it comes to good design. 네, 48년 동안 의상을 디자인해 보시면서 디자인 철학이 있을 것 같아요. 어떤 디자인이 좋은 디자인일까요?
예, 고객 한 분 한 분에게 가장 잘 어울리는 의상을 디자인하는 것이 저의 패션 철학입니다. 세상에는 많은 디자인이 있지만은 고객의 옷을 디자인할 때는 그 사람만의 트렌드에 맞춰줄 수 있는 디자인이 좋은 디자인이라고 생각합니다.
그렇군요.
예.
So she shared that her fashion philosophy is to design the best outfit for each customer. There are a lot of designs in the world, but when she designs clothes for clients, she considers design that can match the person's own trends and personality. And I definitely agree. There are so many beautiful clothes that may not fit certain people, and that's what it is, right? And now there's the unfortunate perspective that apparel, textiles are a declining industry. So how do you see the future of Busan's apparel and textile industry? 네, 안타깝게도 의류 섬유는 사양 산업이라는 얘기들을 하지 않습니까? 이 부산의 의류 섬유 산업의 미래를 어떻게 보십니까?
지금 정말로 사양 산업이라고 할 수가 있습니다. 옛날에는 한국에서 부산이 옷띠꾸뚜루 패션을 장악했습니다. 그 당시에는 기성복보다는 맞춤이 대세였고 맞춤의 전성시대라고 할 수 있었습니다. 그러다가 기성복이 대중화되면서 한국 패션의 중심이 서울이 되어 부산 패션업계에 큰 피해를 입은 셈입니다. 요즘 젊은 인재가 양성이 안 되다 보니 부산 제조업 직원들이 연령층은 점점 높아지고 직원들은 부족한 상태입니다. 이번 엑스포로 인해 젊은 층들이 패션에 대한 깊은 관심을 가지게 되는 계기가 되었으면 하는 바람입니다.
네.
더불어 우리나라뿐만 아닌 전 세계의 젊은 기술자들이 패션에 관심을 가지고 부산의 의류 섬유 산업 발전되기를 소망합니다.
네,
예.
맞습니다. So she said, yes, there's the unfortunate perspective and reality that apparel textiles are a declining industry. Once upon a time in Korea, Busan dominated the fashion scene with its haute couture. And at that time, custom-made clothing was more popular than ready-to-wear. However, as ready-to-wear became more popular, Seoul became the center of Korean fashion, and Busan's fashion industry suffered greatly. Nowadays, young talent is not being fostered, so Busan's manufacturing workers are getting older, and there is a shortage of employees as well. She hopes that the expo will serve as an opportunity for young people to develop a deep interest in fashion. She also hopes that young skilled individuals, not only in Korea but also around the world, will be interested in our fashion, and that it leads to Busan's apparel and textile industry being developed in our city. Well, before we wrap up today's interview, could you share your future plans with our listeners tuning in right now? 네, 앞으로 부산패션섬유산업사업협동조합에서 할 일이 많을 것 같아요. 앞으로의 계획과 목표는 무엇입니까?
예, 한국 패션의 본고장은 부산입니다. 지금은 구름이 낀 상태지만은 무한한 희망이 있다는 것을 알고 있습니다. 패션을 통해 세계에 알리고 최고의 패션 이상을 올려 한국 패션은 아직 살아있다는 것을 보여주고 싶습니다.
네, 알겠습니다. So she said the home of Korean fashion is Busan. Even though it's not the best right now, there is great hope, and she wants to show the world that Korean fashion is still alive. Well, that's going to do it for today's The Interview with Miss Seo Sun-nam, a Busan-based designer with 48 years of experience, currently the chairperson of the Busan Fashion Textile Industry Cooperatives. 네, 오늘은 서순남 부산패션섬유산업사업협동조합 이사장과 함께 자세한 이야기 나눠봤는데요. 이사장님 오늘 출연 감사합니다.
예, 감사합니다. 예.
Right. And that's going to do it for today's The Interview. And the time is now 11:27. Let's take a quick song break. This is The Weekend with Secrets.
Everybody here wants you, my love, my love. And I know that you want him to, my love, my love. I ask you what your heart desires, my love, my love. You tell me I'm the only one, my love, my love. It's a lie, a lie. I got you every time in your lies, every time you close your eyes. I hear the secrets that you keep when you talk to that you left it all behind. It's a lot. I catch you every time in your lies. Every time you close your eyes. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking. Lost from your eyes, I see that you're not. I can see the lust in your eyes. You can't hide it. You can't be the one I rely. We're divided. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking in your sleep. I get the secrets that you keep when you're talking.
Welcome back to Busan Worldwide. I'm your host, Stephanie Yoon. The time is now 11:31, which means it's time for Up Busan 2030. This is a daily campaign segment in Busan Worldwide to learn more about World Expo until November, because that's when the host city for the 2030 World Expo will be decided on. And I'm just counting down. Yesterday we mentioned, actually Monday, we mentioned there's 99 days. So now 97 days, right? So let's jump into it. The participants of the 2023 Busan Eurasia Civic Expedition started their 13-day adventure. 네, 2023 부산 유라시아 시민대장정 참가자들이 13일간의 여정을 시작했습니다. Now, yesterday at 4 p.m., Busan City and the Busan Global City Foundation held the opening ceremony for the 2023 Eurasia Civic Expedition at Busan Station as participants boarded the train. The expedition includes a total of 87 participants, among them 20 business people, 31 cultural and artistic figures, 15 young adults, and co-chairs Kim Hyo-jung and Song Chang-yong from the Busan City Council. From now until September 3rd, the participants will visit Ulaanbaatar, Mongolia, Almaty, Kazakhstan, Tashkent, and Samarkand, Uzbekistan, and Paris, France. And during this trip, they will promote Busan, a candidate city for the 2030 Busan World Expo, and engage in various activities to enhance exchange and cooperation in Busan. And an agreement of friendly cooperation is planned to be established with Samarkand as Uzbekistan, and especially in Paris, where the BIE is located, responsible for voting for the host city for the 2030 World Expo, the Busan Day in Paris event will be held. This event will showcase Korean cuisine, Busan tourism, K-pop dance performances, and taekwondo demonstrations. And starting from Busan and traveling all the way to Europe, here's to hoping that these participants will share Busan's charm throughout the cities they visit and return with amazing stories to tell. Well, that was the update for the Busan World Expo Daily campaign here on Busan Worldwide. Now, let's move on to the Daily Expo quiz. So in the 170-year history of expos, the opening of the Asian era was announced by the 1970 Osaka World Exposition. It marked the first moment when the World Expo, which had previously been a place for Western advanced countries, approached the East, right? Also, the 2010 Shanghai Expo captured global attention as the largest and most attended expo in history. And in 2025, the Osaka Kansai World Expo will take place. So if Busan successfully hosts the World Expo in 2030, it will mean that the 3 Northeast Asian countries will have hosted a World Expo. So here's the question for today. 엑스포 관련 문제 드리겠습니다. What is not the common factor among the host cities or candidate cities of these three Northeast Asian countries that I mentioned? So 1, capital city, 2, port city, 3, second city. 네, 동북아 3국 도시의 공통점이 아닌 것은 무엇일까요? Number 1, 1번 수도, 2번 항구 도시, 3번 제2의 도시. All right, one more time, let me share that question for you. What is not the common factor among the host cities or candidate city of these 3 Northeast Asian countries? 1, capital city, 2, port city, 3, second city. 이 동북아 3국의 개체 도시와 개체 희망 도시의 공통점이 아닌 것은 무엇일까요? 1번 수도, 2번 항구 도시, 3번 제2의 도시. All right, think about this. And as I mentioned, this is the Osaka Kansai and also China and Korea as well. And the answer is number 1. These are not capital cities. Let me tell you a bit about this. World Expos have been hosted not in the capital city of Beijing, but in Shanghai, and not in the capital city of Tokyo, but in Osaka. When a World Expo is held in a second city instead of the capital, it can serve as a driving force for the growth of the economy and industry, not just in the city, but as a whole, right? As a whole nation as well. And that's what we're hoping for here in Busan as well. And that's it for Up Busan 2030, a daily campaign for the Busan World Expo. As you know, we will continue this segment until November. The time is now 11:36. Let's take a quick song break. This is Jerry Southern with It's the Lovely.
The night is young, the skies are clear, and if you want to go walking, dear, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. I understand the reason why you're sentimental, and so am I. It's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. You can tell at a glance what a swell night this is for romance. You can hear dear Mother Nature murmuring low. Let yourself go, so please be sweet, my chickadee. And when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's lovely. My chickadee, and when I kiss you, just say to me, it's delightful, it's delicious, it's delectable, it's delirious, it's dilemma, it's deluxe, it's lovely.
beyond the borders of Busan, bringing the world back to you. Busan Worldwide with Stephanie Yoon.
The country's housing agency is calling attention to
Correspondent Report. That's right, it's time for Correspondent Report, where we connect with our reporters from all around the world. 네, 지금부터는 세계 곳곳의 통신원들을 만나보겠는데요. 라이브로 연결할 나라는 중국입니다. 중국의 박신희 통신원과 함께합니다. 안녕하십니까?
예, 안녕하세요. 중국 베이징의 박신희 통신원입니다.
네, 반갑습니다. Now we are connected with Mr. Park Shin-hee based in China, and we're going to hear all about what's going on in the country of China. So let's jump into it. 첫 소식 볼게요. 중국에서 10대에도 결혼을 허가하자는 제안들이 나오고 있는데요. 이 내용 전해주시죠.
예, 중국에서 법적으로 결혼이 가능한 나이는 남성이 22살, 여성이 20살인데요, 20살인데요. 최근 출산율이 계속해서 낮아지자 법정 결혼 가능 연령을 낮추자는 제안이 중국 곳곳에서 나오고 있습니다. 중국 경제학자 린처핑은 중국의 법정 혼인 연령이 국제적 수준에 비해 훨씬 높다면서 국가가 법정 혼인 연령을 18세로 낮추자고 주장하고 있습니다.
I see. So the legal marriage age in China is 22 for men and 20 for women. With a continuous decline in birth rates, there is a growing trend of proposals to lower the legal marriage age. Now, Chinese economist Lan Ping argued that China's legal marriage age is significantly higher compared to international standards and proposed lowering it to 18. 네, 결혼 연령을 낮추자는 제안이 나오는 이유는 출산율 저하 때문이라고요.
예, 그렇습니다. 최근 열린 중국 인구학회에서 나온 수치에 따르면 2022년 중국의 합계 출산율은 1.09로 인구 1억이 넘는 국가 가운데 가장 낮은 수준입니다. 작년 혼인신고도 1년 전에 비해서 80만 3천 건 줄어드는 등 혼인 건수 자체도 감소하고 있습니다. 중국 지방정부들이 낮아지는 출산율을 높이기 위한 방안 중 하나로 결혼 연령을 낮추는 것을 연구 검토하고 있는 것으로 알려졌습니다.
I see. So according to recent data from the Chinese Population Association, China's total fertility rate, birth rate in 2022 was 1.09, the lowest among countries with a population over 100 million. Also, the number of registered marriages has decreased by 803,000 compared to the previous year. Local Chinese governments are exploring the possibility of lowering the marriage age as one of the measures to address the declining birth rates. 결혼 연령을 낮추는 것이 출산율을 높이는 정책으로는 무리가 있을 것 같은데요.
예, 중국 온라인 공간에서는 혼인 연령을 낮추자는 제안이 큰 지지를 받고 있지는 못한 상황입니다. 중국 매체 3년 생활 주간의 조사에 따르면 응답자의 11%만이 이런 방안을 지지했고 50% 가까이는 결혼 가능 연령이 너무 낮을 경우 혼인 결정에 신중을 기하지 못할 수 있다며 우려하는 의견을 밝히기도 했습니다. 그리고 상당수 네티즌은 혼인 연령을 낮추는 것이 출산율을 높이는 데는 별 도움이 되지 않을 것이고 오히려 농촌 여성이 조혼으로 고등교육을 못 받는 상황을 낳는 등 여성의 권익이 흔들리는 결과로 이어질 수 있다고 우려하고 있는 것으로 나타났습니다.
그렇군요. So online discussions in China indicate that the proposal to lower the marriage age isn't gaining widespread support. A survey conducted by China Life Weekly revealed that only 11% of respondents supported the idea, while nearly 50% expressed concerns that too low of a marriage age could lead to hasty decisions and lack of careful consideration. Many netizens also worry that lowering the marriage age might not necessarily boost birth rates and could even result in different consequences, such as limited educational opportunities for rural women due to early marriages, potentially compromising women's rights as well. Well, with that, let's move on to our second topic of the day. 다음 소식 볼게요. 중국 과체중 인구가 40%를 넘었다고요?
예. 일반적으로 과체중은 표준 체중보다 10에서 20% 높은 체중, 비만은 표준 체중보다 20% 이상 높은 체중을 의미하는데요. 당뇨병 비만대사 연구지에 실린 중국 비만 발병률 및 관련 합병증 보고서의 발표 내용에 따르면 중국 남성의 41.1%가 과체중, 18.2%가 비만인 반면 여성은 27.7%가 과체중, 9.4%가 비만인 것으로 나타났습니다.
그렇군요. So overweight generally refers to being 10 to 20% above the standard weight, while obesity indicates being over 20% above the standard weight. According to the China Obesity Incidence and Related Complications report published by the journal Diabetes, Obesity, and Metabolism, 41.1% of Chinese men are overweight, with 18.2% being obese, and among women, 27.7% are overweight and 9.4% are obese. 그럼 여성보다 남성의 과체중 비율이 높은 이유는 뭔가요?
예, 베이징 협화병원 내분비과 우쉔 교수는 남성이 비만될 가능성이 높은 주된 이유로 세 가지를 들었는데요. 첫째는 남성이 여성보다 장기적으로 과도한 스트레스와 나쁜 정서 상태에 있는 경우가 많고, 둘째는 남성들이 스트레스를 풀고 감정을 해소하기 위해서 과음, 과식 등 건강하지 못한 생활 습관에 길들여지는 경우가 많다는 점을 꼽았습니다. 그리고 세 번째로 남성이 장기적인 수면 부족과 불규칙한 수면으로 에너지 균형을 방해받아서 비만으로 이어지는 경향이 높다고 전했습니다.
I see. So Professor Wu Xian from Beijing Union Hospital highlighted three main reasons why men are more prone to obesity. They share that firstly, men often experience chronic stress and negative emotions more than women. Second, many men develop unhealthy habits like overeating and excessive consumption of alcohol to cope with stress and emotional relief. And lastly, they said that men are more likely to experience chronic sleep deprivation and irregular sleep patterns, disrupting energy balance and leading to obesity. Well, with that, let's move on to our final topic for today. 마지막 소식 볼게요. 중국이 강씨 복장을 하고 태권도 시범을 보인 도장에 징계를 내렸다고요?
예, 지난달 성남에서 열린 2023 성남 태권도 한마당에 출전해서 강씨 태권 체조를 선보인 중국의 태권도팀 차이나 X에 대해서 중국 태권도협회가 도장 설립 자격 취소 징계를 내렸습니다. 차이나 X팀은 중국 강씨 동작과 태권도 기술을 접목한 태권도 군무로 태권 체조 시니어 해외 부문 1위를 차지했는데요. 공연 영상이 소셜미디어에 퍼지면서 중국 네티즌들 사이에선 이들이 중국의 전통 문화를 우습게 만들었다는 등의 비난이 나오면서 결국 중징계를 받게 됐습니다.
그렇군요. So the Chinese Taekwondo Association revoked the qualification of the China X Taekwondo team after they showcased Gangxi Taekwondo during the 2023 Seongnam Taekwondo Festival held in Seongnam last month. Now, the China X team combined Chinese martial arts with Taekwondo techniques, and their performance actually won the first place in the senior Taekwondo exercise category. However, after their performance garnered attention on social media, criticisms emerged among Chinese netizens, accusing them of undermining traditional culture and causing negative cultural influence. So the Chinese Taekwondo Association imposed disciplinary measures against them. 중국 태권도 협회가 강씨 태권도를 선보인 도장에 중징계를 내린 이유는 무엇일까요?
예, 중국 태권도 협회는 강씨 태권도 공연이 구습을 널리 알리고 민족의 이미지를 추하게 묘사해서 중화 문화를 모독하고 나쁜 영향을 끼쳤다고 징계 이유를 설명했는데요. 중국 태권도 협회의 징계를 받은 체육관은 회원 자격과 승급 시험 고사장 자격, 그리고 대회 등 참가 자격을 박탈당했고, 지도자 개인의 지도, 훈련 등 자격도 취소됐습니다. 광동성 태권도 협회와 선전시 태권도 협회의 우수평가 자격도 3년간 정지됐는데요. 중국 태권도 협회는 이번 사건의 영향이 악질적이고 규모도 크다면서 중국 태권도 협회의 업계 감독 관리와 문화건설 방면에 일련의 문제가 있음을 드러냈다고 밝혔지만, 일부에서는 네티즌들의 여론에 떠밀려서 징계를 내렸다는 의견도 나오고 있습니다.
그렇군요. So the Chinese Taekwondo Association stated that the performance of Gangxi Taekwondo negatively portrayed traditional customs, disrespected Chinese culture, and had a detrimental influence. As a result of the disciplinary action, the sports facility lost its membership status, as well as eligibility for promotion tests, competitions, and more. The qualifications of individual instructors were also revoked. Also, the outstanding evaluation evaluation qualifications of Dongdong Province Taekwondo Association and Shenzhen City Taekwondo Association were suspended for 3 years. The Chinese Taekwondo Association acknowledged that this incident had a negative impact and emphasized the need to supervise and manage the industry and promote cultural construction as well. Well, that's going to do it for today's Correspondent Report, connecting with Mr. Park Shin-hee based in China. 네, 중국 소식 여기까지 듣겠습니다. 감사합니다.
네, 지금까지 중국 베이징에서 박신이었습니다.
All right, and that's going to do it for Correspondent Report. And listeners, the time is now 11:49, and before we wrap up today's show, I have a very important message for you. So this is about today from 2 p.m. Listeners, this is so important because without the knowledge or understanding what's going on, I'm sure you're going to be surprised at 2 p.m. Now, at 2 p.m. today, Wednesday, right, August 23rd, National Civil Defense drill will be happening for 20 minutes. It's going to be taking place for 20 minutes from 2 p.m. today. So today, South Korea will conduct its first nationwide civil defense drill in 6 years. It's a move that comes amid rising tensions with North Korea. Set for 2 p.m. today, the 20-minute exercise will require most people to evacuate to designated shelters or underground safe spaces. Now, listeners, so important, right? During the drill, drivers in some areas, because some of the roads in Busan as well as other major cities will be shut down for the exercise, so drivers might need to pull over to the side of the roads and follow radio instructions. Subway station exits could be closed with all the passengers requiring to stay underground. And again, it starts at 2 p.m. Citizens have to remain in shelters for about 15 minutes with an all clear given at 2:20 p.m. And real-time updates about the procedures will be relayed to the public through emergency phone alerts, radio and TV, as well as BEFM. And listeners, just more information about this. Once the 20-minute alert is lifted, you can return to whatever you are doing. The alert lift will be communicated through methods like voice broadcast, disaster text messages, and there will be no sounding alerts. But if you hear any of the sirens go off, please remain calm and follow the instructions provided as well. Well, listeners, again, it's going to be happening at 2 p.m., so don't be surprised and follow the instructions. And thank you so much for tuning in to Busan Worldwide today. Tomorrow, we're going to be focusing on what's happening with Fukushima water, the contaminated water from Fukushima, by connecting with our reporter from Japan. So tune in for that. Our show will be starting at 11:05 a.m. tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow. And this program was produced by Tina Park, written by Pang Mira. I've been your host, Stephanie Yoon, and the final song for today is Muse with Uprising. I'll see you tomorrow.
Transmissions will resume. Now try to push, try to keep us all down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another package like to keep us trapped in greed. A green belts wrapped around our minds, an endless red tape to keep the truth confined. Us
Hi, I'm Roberto Fernandez from Mallorca, Spain. I have been living here in Busan for more than 5 years with my Korean wife and twin boys.